guys, it's Miss Clark. I'm here to work with you for chapters 25 and 26 of Sideways Stories from Wayside School. So let's get started. All right. Chapter 25, Jenny. So number 1, what does Jenny find when she enters the classroom? Number 2, what does Jenny work on while waiting? Number 3, what advice did the bald man give Jenny? And number 4, what would you do if you were alone in the classroom? All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to follow along with me. We're on chapter 25, and it's Jenny. Okay, so here we go. It says, Jenny came to school. Okay, chapter 25, Jenny. So Jenny came to school on the back of her father's motorcycle. She was late. Wayside School began at 9 o'clock. It was almost 9:30. She kissed her father goodbye and raced up the 30 flights of stairs to Mrs. Jules' room. I'm sorry I'm late, Mrs. Jules, but my father's motorcycle lost a... There was nobody there. The room was empty. Hello, hello, she cried. Miss Jules, Dana, Todd, anyone? There was no one in the room. Maybe I'm early, Jenny thought. She looked up at the clock. It was exactly 9:30. Oh, I hope they don't go on a field trip without me. She looked out the window. Nobody was there, not even Louis. Jenny didn't know what to do. She sat down at her desk. She watched the second hand go around on the clock. Might as well catch up on my spelling, she thought. She opened her desk and took out her speller. M-U-D spells mud. Where is everybody? B-L-O-O-D spells blood. Hope nothing happened to them. B-L-A-C-K spells black. Jenny heard footsteps coming down the hall. She began to work very fast. H-A-C-K spells hack. S-M-A-C-K spells smack. Someone opened the door. Jenny turned around. Ack! She gasped. He was a man Jenny had never seen before. He had a black mustache and a matching attaché case. So that's like a briefcase. Jenny jumped out of her seat. Get back in your seat, the man said. Jenny slowly sat down. The man walked over and sat down in Dana's seat, facing Jenny. He opened his attaché case and removed some papers. What is your name? He asked. Jenny, Jenny whispered. Jenny, the man repeated, as if he didn't believe her. Well, it is actually Jennifer. Jenny for short, said Jenny. I see, said the man. He took the speller from Jenny's desk. Jenny's name was written across the top. He put the speller in his attaché case. What are you doing here, Jennifer? He asked. This is my classroom, said Jenny. Are you sure? The man asked. Yes, I think so. I mean, where is the rest of your class? The man asked. I don't know, said Jenny. Maybe they went on a field trip. No, said the man. They didn't go on a field trip. Well, I don't know where they are, Jenny cried. I was half an hour late today, and when I got here, everybody was gone. Really, did something happen to them? The man didn't answer. He wrote something on a piece of paper. Tell me something, Jennifer. When you came to school today and saw that nobody was here, weren't you somewhat puzzled? Yes, said Jenny. What happened to them? If you're really so concerned and so puzzled, said the man, why did you work on spelling? I don't know, said Jenny. It would seem to me, the man said, that if a child came to school and nobody was there, she might play games or walk around or go home, but certainly not work on spelling. Jenny started to cry. I didn't know what to do. I was late and had to ride on a motorcycle, and nobody was here, and now you're asking me all kinds of questions, and I'm afraid of what has happened to Dana and Mrs. Jules and Rondi and Allison. The man didn't understand a word she said. Jenny heard more footsteps. The man got up and opened the door. 2 more men came in. One had a black mustache, like the first man. The other man was bald. Jenny was frightened by them. Does she know? Asked the newcomer with the mustache. She claims she knows nothing. The first man answered. She says she was late today, and when she got here, everybody was gone. Do you believe her? Asked the man with the bald head. I'm not sure. She was working on her speller when I walked in. He reached into his attaché case and took out Jenny's speller. He handed it to the man with the bald head. The bald man read Jenny's name across the top of it. Tell me, Jenny, he said, why are you the only one here? I don't know, said Jenny. Has this ever happened before? He asked. No, never, said Jenny. He gave Jenny her speller. Put this inside your desk. Jenny put it away. I'm satisfied, said the man with the bald head. Okay, Jennifer, said the first man. You may go now. Jenny got out of her seat. Jenny, the bald man called. Jenny turned around slowly. Yes, she whispered. Next time, don't come to school on a Saturday. All right, so there's Jenny. Yep. So, questions are, what does Jenny find when she enters the classroom? Well, she finds that nobody's there. Number 2, what does Jenny work on while waiting? Spelling. Number 3, what advice did the bald man give Jenny? Don't come to school on a Saturday. And number 4, what would you do if you were alone in the classroom? Well, that's your opinion. So, hold on to that answer and we can talk about it. All right, next chapter. Oh, don't forget to do the character card for Jenny. Remember, all of them have pictures of them, so it's easier to draw. Chapter 26, Terrence. Ooh, we only got 2 questions for him. Number 1, Terrence was a good blank, but a bad blank. What does this mean? And then number 2, what does Terrence do to all of the balls? Oh boy, I think I remember this chapter. All right, chapter 26, Terrence. I apologize in advance if you can hear my dog snoring in the background. All right, chapter 26, Terrence. Looks like this, just the next page over. Terrence was a good athlete but a bad sport. Rondi and Allison were playing 2-square with a red ball. Can I play? Asked Terrence. No, Allison replied. You have to let me play, Terrence said. Lewis says we have to share the balls. Well, we're not sharing with you, said Allison. Oh, let him play, said Rondi. All right, said Allison. We'll play 3-square. You better play right. I will, said Terrence. Allison bounced the ball to Rondi. Rondi bounced it over to Terrence. Terrence caught it and kicked it over the fence. You have to go get it, said Allison. Shut up, Dixie Cup, Terrence answered. That's rude. Rondi ran and told Lewis. DJ and Damien were playing basketball. Uh-oh, here comes Terrence, said Damien. Hey, let me play, said Terrence. Get lost, Terrence, said Damien. You have to share the balls. Lewis says so, said Terrence. Okay, but just throw it in the basket. Don't kick it, said Damien. I won't, said Terrence. First, Damien took a shot. It bounced off the backboard and through the hoop. Next, DJ took a shot. He threw it underhand, way up in the air. It came down through the hoop without touching the rim. Then Terrence took a shot. He kicked it over the fence. You idiot, said Damien. Take a train, peanut brain, Terrence answered. DJ went and told Lewis. Stephen, Calvin, Joe, John, and Leslie were playing Spud. Stephen was it. Everyone else had a number. Stephen had to throw the ball up in the air and call out a number. The person who had the number had to try to catch it. That's interesting. Can I play? Asked Terrence. No, said Calvin. You'll just kick the ball over the fence. No, said Joe. No way, said John. No, said Leslie. Sure, said Stephen. Newcomers are it. He gave the ball to Terrence. Just throw the ball up in the air, call it a number between 1 and 5. Okay, said Terrence. Children formed a circle around Terrence. 1,000,000, yelled Terrence as he kicked the ball over the fence. What'd you do that for? Asked Stephen. Eat a frog, warthog, said Terrence. Stephen ran and told Lewis. I see a pattern. Terrence looked around. There was nothing to do. There were no balls left. Lewis walked up to him. He was followed by Allison, Rondi, Damien, DJ, Stephen, Calvin, Joe, John, and Leslie. What's the matter, Terrence? Asked Lewis. There are no balls, said Terrence. Do you have a green ball? No, said Lewis. All of my balls have mysteriously disappeared. Darn it, said Terrence. There's nothing left to kick. Nothing left to kick? Asked Lewis. Oh, I don't know about that. What do you think, Rondi? Is there anything left to kick? Rondi thought a minute. Then she smiled. She was missing her 2 front teeth. Yes, there is something left to kick, she said. Well, where is it? Asked Terrence. Let me check with Allison, said Lewis. Allison, is there anything left to kick? He winked at her. There sure is, said Allison. What? Asked Terrence. How about you, Damien? Asked Lewis. Can you think of anything? Damien nodded his head yes. Well, what is it? Asked Terrence. He couldn't wait. DJ, we got anything around here to kick? Asked Lewis. DJ smiled. Yes, we do, he said. Give it to me, Terrence demanded. I don't know if I should, said Lewis. What do you think, Calvin? Should I give it to him? I think you should, said Calvin. You heard Calvin, said Terrence. Give it to me. Not so fast, said Lewis. Leslie, should I give it to him? Oh, yes, I think he deserves it, said Leslie. Give it to me, Terrence repeated. Do you also think he deserves it, Joe? Asked Lewis. Yes, I think so, said Joe. What about you, John? Asked Lewis. Definitely give it to him. John answered. Come on, said Terence. Recess is almost over. We'll leave it up to Stephen, said Lewis. Whatever he says goes. Let him have it, said Stephen. You heard him, Lewis, said Terence. Let me have it. Okay, said Lewis. He picked Terence up and kicked him over the fence. All right, so question was, number 1, Terence was a good blank, but a bad blank. First sentence, Terence was a good athlete, but a bad sport. What does that mean? It means he's good at sports, but he's bad at being nice to other players. And then number 2, what does Terence do to all the balls? Simple, he kicks them over the fence. Okay, so don't forget to do the character card for Terence, and I will see you next time. Bye.